Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time and I'm suffocating. I'm breathing in way too much carbon dioxide right now.
Ooh, okay, it feels good to breathe again. Oh my god. It is currently 6:30 in the morning. And just in case you have no idea what's going on, welcome to episode number 2 of Franchise Killer, where today we have the Gingerdead Man movies. Now there's 5 of these movies, and just like last episode, I am going to be watching all 5 of them in one sitting, and I'll be ranking them based on not how good they are, but how much I enjoyed watching them, okay? The last episode was on Halloween. It was when I watched all of the Scream movies in a row, which all of them were 2 hours long, and there's 6 of them, which means I watched 12 hours worth of movies. That took 15 hours for me to film. This, however, has only 5 films, and each one is about an hour and a half, so that's like 7.5 hours, and I actually brought food this time, okay? I ate breakfast, my tummy's full. I'm not living off of stale Pringles and ice cream this time. But just like last time, we have a beautiful board with all of the movie placements. So down here, marked with 5 little peppermint patties, we have the worst movie is gonna go down here. We got a little Gingerdead Man right up here popping up. You can't see that. It's far too small, but it's there. That's number 4, the 4th spot. Number 3, number 2, which has Gary Busey with a gun, because why wouldn't I add that to this? And up here is gonna be our number 1 best movie of the franchise. Unlike last time, I haven't seen any of these movies at all. I've seen parts of the first movie, but I have not seen any of these 5 movies. I only thought there was 1. So I didn't even know that there were 5 of these until I saw this release, which I conveniently have placed on the floor right here, of all 5 Gingerdead Man movies. Now, if you've seen my video on this is a giant cookie tin that has all 5 movies plus like a little figure of the guy. So if you want to go see that, you can. But this is how I'm going to be watching all of the movies because I didn't have them. Now I got all 5. I forgot how much I hate mittens. We have also cardboard cutouts of the movies. So right here, yeah, we have movie number 1, The Gingerdead Man. And they're all Velcro so that wherever I want this to be placed, I just stick it on the board and it stays there. Now, whenever I stick it on there, that doesn't mean it's final, okay? I'll tell you when my final placements are final, but right now it's not gonna be final. I have a very long day ahead of me, and I wanna go to bed, but instead, I'm going to be watching these movies. Let me try and put this mask back on, and we'll get right to it.
Got movie number 1, The Gingerdead Man, voiced and acted by none other than Gary Busey. Gonna go ahead and watch this movie and come back and let you know what I think of it. I love these stupid kinds of movies, but we'll see if I love them after today. And we're back. Movie number 1, The Gingerdead Man, from 2005, I think. Yep, 2005. Let me take this mask off.
Okay, so where do I start? First off, I would like to say this refreshes some of my memories from this movie, which I did see parts of last year for the first time ever. Not having my fingers is going to actually get me to jump off a bridge, I think. There we go. First movie, number 1, it's all done. That was... I don't know how to feel about that, okay? Because it was not good, okay? We'll put that out there right off the bat. Not good. But it wasn't too atrocious, okay? It wasn't that bad. But don't think I would ever willingly watch this by myself. Like, there's never going to be a moment in my life where I'm like, I'm just really in the mood to watch the Gingerdead Man. That's never going to occur to me ever again. Unless, of course, I'm torturing somebody with this movie. First off, everyone in this movie, they have southern accents, that drops it down a few points already. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. Also, this is when Gary Busey, aka Millard Findlemeyer, Millard Findlemeyer, Findle something, Millard. They named the gingerbread man Millard. Millard Findlemeyer is the actual name of the serial killer played by Gary Busey, who goes and shoots like 7 people at a diner to take the cashier's cash. I don't know about you, but that's not really worth it to me. Okay, let me see. He shot 4 people to take some pocket change from a cash register at Cadillac Jack's at like 8 o'clock in the morning. He was sentenced to death. He was cremated. They sent them the cremations. Oh no, somebody cut their wrist by accident, and the blood spilled into the gingerbread stuff along with his ashes. And oh my god, Gary Busey's he's a gingerbread man now. He goes and kills everybody. So that's just the basic premises of what this movie is. Very low budget, as are all of Full Moon's movies. They're all low budget, but they're all relatively entertaining. So can I be so bold as to put this, I was going to say number 1 first, because if I've learned anything from the last episode is that the first movie typically the best, and I really hope that's not the case for this franchise, because we are in for a long day if this is the best it gets from these movies. I think, to be fair, I'm gonna put it at 2, because number 1, that's right where Gary Busey with a gun is. All right, Gary Busey's got a Glock, and that is the only movie. This is the movie where that frame came from, and I feel obligated to put it there. But I'm going to put it there as I'm going to leave it there, intended for it to stay. Okay, that's where I think it's going to stay, even though I've never seen any of these movies. I think it'll hold up as number 2. If it doesn't, and it goes all the way down to 5, I will be stoked to find out that all of these movies are actually really good. I don't think they're going to be, though. But yeah, we're gonna put this at 2. Did I have a blast? Absolutely not. There we go. I'm surprised I got that up there with no fingers. We have 4 more movies to go through. I bet money that at least one of them is going to be better than this movie. I really, really, really hope so. This is kind of feeling like Child's Play, but like Christmas edition. So we had Charles Lee Ray show up in the first shot of Child's Play. He goes into the toy store. He gets shot and dies. But he he's like, "Ah de dooey dembella." And then he gets now he's a doll and he's going and killing people. That's the same thing, but with Millard Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather. Except Millard just shoots a bunch of people in a diner instead of, running through a toy store. It's kind of the same thing where he swears a lot and has a bunch of one-liners, but none of them are funny at all, except for when he's trying to beat up a rat. That was pretty fun. That was pretty good. That was the only part that made me audibly laugh. Other than that, acting is pretty poor, and I feel like that's not going to change, because it never changes. The Gingerdead Man, monster design, it's a puppet, and there's a bunch of frames where it just shows up and it's one of those stress ball toys where you squish it and it's just it slowly terrible quality. Okay, we're gonna see how the second one goes. And if you're unaware of what the second movie is, because I totally didn't forget or anything. Yeah, Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust. There we go, this is really hard. I'm breaking my wrist trying to get a good angle. It's him popping out of a pie. Freshly baked terror. Dude, I'm so good with these mittens. Yeah, Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust was made in 2008, which was 3 years after the first one. And it's looking what the hell? This is looking better already. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My hands are sweating through these fuzzy mittens. Time to go watch Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust.
Oh boy.
My hair is gonna look terrible, and that's okay. That was one of the most horrible movies I have ever had the displeasure of watching in my entire life. Now, am I being dramatic? Okay, am I overplaying or downplaying this? Whatever is grammatically correct, I don't know. It could be. Maybe it's because I'm not in the mood. Is it because I don't feel like watching these types of movies? I don't know. I feel like they could be fun, but that was, I cannot think of almost any movie that I have ever personally witnessed that was just harder to watch than this. Now, I will have to give credit where credit is due before I rant about how terrible. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna rant about it first. This was horrible. Horrible. Okay, the first movie, it's all gonna come down to lore. Okay, it did with the last episode with the Scream movies. I love me the lore. Okay, that's the original movie. We get the backstory with the actual killer. We got the backstory of like how it like happened is ashes mixed with the blood, mixed with the cookie dough, mixed with the grandmother's spices for the gingerbread man. They cooked him, they baked him, he came to life, and he killed the other person who survived the shooting at the diner. Okay, that was something I left out of. That was like his motive was to kind of like kill her and stuff. This movie completely changed all of that. We threw all of that out the window. The characters from the first movie are gone. This guy isn't even voiced by Gary Busey anymore. All right, Gary Busey he only had something to do with the first movie. I think he's gone. He doesn't even voice him anymore. So it's someone completely different. He just showed up in a cookie tin. It's like Friday the 13th. Like once we get to like the later movies, they don't even show you how he came back. They're just like, he's back. You're like, okay. But he just comes back in his original form. He looks exactly like he did in the first movie, even though his head was bitten off, which was a disgusting scene. I forgot to mention that. But his head was bit off in the first movie, and it magically grew back. We did not get a backstory on how this happened. We did get a recap of the first movie at the beginning of this. He just showed up in a cookie tin at the set of like this movie like studios where they're like filming all these low budget movies and stuff. They made it even more like Child's Play. You know how Chucky has to find a new host before he turns completely human and stuck in doll form forever? They did the exact same thing with this, except they made him be like, oh, if I don't find a new host, I'm gonna go stale. So I need to kill 5 people and possess the last one, which he didn't even say until the very end of the movie. So he was just killing people for no reason. And then at the end, he like said one sentence that kind of explained what he was doing. All of the acting was terrible. Number 1. That's gonna stay the same. That's a given, okay? Number 2. Lore completely changed. We don't know what the hell is happening. Number 3. The Gingerdead man felt like a side quest. He's not the main focus. You only see him when he pops up to kill people. There's like a main plot line going on, which is very weak to begin with. The Gingerdead man just feels out of place in the movie, which should not be the case. Because it's like he shows up for no reason at all out of nowhere. It just doesn't feel like the movie was meant for a gingerbread man to run around and kill people. Neither of these movies have anything to do with Christmas, by the way. These are the least Christmassy movies I have ever seen. This is a Christmas video. This is a Christmas special. I did not see a single red or green strand of lights in any of these movies. There's no garland. There's no cool Christmas magic music. I meant to say music. There's no Christmas music. Nothing. It's just him as a gingerbread man killing people very poorly. And the first hour in like 20 minutes. So basically the whole movie was almost unbearable for me to sit through. The Gingerdead man is one of the most annoying pricks I have ever seen on screen. Usually, you're excited when... I'm just going to reference Chucky because this is very clearly what they're trying to be. You're excited when Chucky's on screen because, number 1, he's funny, and number 2, you want to see what he does next. He's charming. He's a charming little doll. That thing's not. This thing's disgusting. It's trying so hard to be funny, but it's just like really uncomfortable and just really, it's so annoying and so unbelievably, I hate this word, but cringe. I want to curl up in a ball and die whenever this gingerbread man comes on screen, because I'm like, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment from the people who are trying to make this funny. Oh, okay. I think I got it out. I cannot believe I watched that movie. Anyway, on to the good parts. There was a terminally ill child who was not a child. He revealed that he was 27 years old. The only good actor. There was a kid in a wheelchair getting wheeled around by this girl it was like a Make-A-Wish thing. So he came in, I forgot what his name was. He wanted to see, like, the movie productions of his favorite movies. So, like, he was with the director, they were walking around. He was showing him all the places. The whole place is falling apart. Everyone who's working behind the scenes of all of the movies hate the director and hate their life and want to leave. So they're always just, like, yelling at the director while he's trying to show this dying man around in a wheelchair. Anytime he was on screen, made it a little bit more bearable, okay? But it turns out, spoilers, this whole thing is spoilers because I'm going to just rant about whatever I want. The kid was faking it the entire time, which I was not seeing coming, okay? The plot twist at the end was actually very good and better than a few movies out there. All right, a few. I say a few because not a lot. It was unpredictable. Did not see that coming. It was a good plot twist. It turns out he brought a backpack with a bomb in it and was going to blow up the entire movie set of all of the movies because he hates the director for making 19 sequels to the same movie and having them all be terrible and stuff. Doesn't matter, but that part, very good acting. I like that guy. That feels like a plot. It is the plot. And then the Gingerdead man is like showing up in like this robot, which was actually kind of cool and like incinerating people, but that only lasted like 30 seconds to a minute before he fell over and got electrocuted, and then he's making comments, and it's like, dude, shut up, I'm trying to listen to what this other guy's saying. The Gingerdead man is annoying, and I can't believe I'm dressed up like him. But yeah, good plot twist. The terminally ill child who wasn't actually a kid because he was 27, and he wasn't terminally ill at all, terrorist. He was a good actor. The ending was absolutely horrible. The Gingerdead man got crucified and burned on a cross with a thorn of crowns. Yep. Yes. I am so tired just from waking up, and the day has not even started yet. Crown of thorns, okay? And he was burned by these other puppets that I don't even want to describe or show you because you really don't need to see them. They pissed me off every time they were on screen because the designs and names of them were just... Everything's making me mad for no reason and I don't know why. But anyway, the Gingerdead man, he was burned at the stake and then thrown out, but a homeless man came and ate his face again. So, the homeless guy got possessed. So, Gingerdead Man 3 coming up. But where am I ranking this? Here, let me get the... Here's the second movie, which I feel like I should just burn, but unfortunately I have to rank it, and I feel like I was thinking about doing this when I ranked the first one, and I should have just went with my gut, but here's what's gonna happen. There you go, I'm not messing around this time. You know, I was kind of beating around the bush for the first episode with the Scream movies, but I keep whipping my hair like it's gonna fix it. It's gonna be terrible this entire video. That's staying up there, and I know it will. Okay, after seeing the second movie, it has confirmed my suspicion that all of these are just gonna go downhill because they're trying to be bigger and better every time. They're instead digging a deeper and deeper ditch. That's staying down there. If any of them are worse than a second one, I'm jumping off of a bridge. I am finding... Okay, I won't... I'm gonna cut that little comment off right there. We got Gingerdead Man at number 1, and Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust, which he's jumping out of a pie right here. There was not a single pie in this entire movie. Just want to point that out. That's last. That is last. I'm hoping that the next movie is the Gingerdead Man in a Hannibal Lecter mask, because I found that image off of the internet. The internet. I can't think straight. I haven't been able to think. I worked 12 hours yesterday, and then woke up at 5 a.m. But yeah, those are the rankings. Last place and first place. We'll see what the other ones fill up. We'll get to, hold on, let me get rid of this. I was supposed to prop it up. Gerald, you were supposed to remind me of that. There we go. Gingerdead Man 3. I'm pretty sure this is Saturday Night Cleaver. Cleaver! Oh my god. How is the second one from 2008 and the third one from 2005? Gingerdead Man 1 is 2005, Gingerdead Man 2 is 2008, Gingerdead Man 3 is 2005. So apparently we can time travel now. Maybe they had the third one in production before the second one, but here's the cardboard cutout of the third one. My giant mitts are covering half of it, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. And I will be back probably with about 5 less brain cells, because I feel like realistically I actually am losing something out of my brain every time I watch these, so.
Off to go watch Gingerdead Man 3.
That was one of the best movies I have ever had the absolute honor of witnessing. Now you may be wondering, like, what the actual hell are you talking about? You just said you hated the second one, and I do. That is the biggest steamy pile of I've ever seen in my life. However, Gingerdead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver is unbelievably good. Now, good might not be the word to describe that movie, admittedly, okay? I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it is so enjoyable, okay? It is so enjoyable. I, honest to God, don't think I've laughed at a movie, at any other movie, more than this one. I laughed, like, out loud. I'm alone. I am alone by myself watching these movies all day. And there were so many parts of this movie, parts, that are genuinely hilarious to me. I think it's my sense of humor, and it is so entertaining. It is so entertaining, and no, I'm not kidding, okay? There's almost nothing bad for me to say about this. There's almost nothing bad for me to say about this. And please, if you want a review of this, like I do for the How Extreme Is a series and also the Thanks Killing that I did, that style video of that, I will do that at any point of the year. I don't care, because it's not Christmas. It's not the only Christmassy thing about these movies, again, is that he's a gingerbread man. I will do a review on this whenever you tell me to, because I want to so badly, okay? I'm gonna try and keep this a little short, because I probably won't shut up about this movie, because, I mean, what a 180, honestly. What a 180. Oh my god. Now, first off, if you take a little look, it looks like half of his face is melted off. He does not look like that, okay? Number one, he looks different every movie, and number two, he's voiced by a completely different person every single time. So, number one, we had Gary Busey, which honestly, screw Gary Busey at this point. I don't care anymore. He was the voice actor for him. He was the Gingerdead Man. Now he has nothing to do with it at all. Couldn't be further away from him. Gingerdead Man 2, I don't care who was voice acting him. It was terrible, okay? Whoever was voice acting, whoever made that movie is horrible. I know it's supposed to be like a parody and making fun of itself, like Full Moon Features is making fun of itself for its low-budget filmmaking. I get that's what the point of the movie was, but I, again, don't care. It's still terrible. Number 3, he looks completely different, okay? He looks completely different every time. He looks like this now. Yeah. He looks like that. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, he's supposed to be looking a little more goofy, a little more funny, stuff like that. I don't know what happened to his face. I don't know how he came back. We got a little tiny itsy bit of backstory, because the beginning of this film already won my heart by doing a almost scene-by-scene parody of Silence of the Lambs. There is a woman who looks strikingly like the actor who plays Clarice. Scene by scene of her going through okay, I'm really bad at this. They opened up at a mental institution for homicidal baked goods. So, this actor who's pretending to be Clarice, whose name was Clarissa, was walking through this psych ward of a bunch of baked goods. There was like baguettes and like little there's a lot of things, and they're all like screaming and stuff. I'm like, this is great. This is great. If you want to make it a comedy, you better go all the way, and they definitely did for this, and I love it. It's great. The Gingerdead Man is strapped to a table with a Hannibal Lecter mask right there, as you can see, which you can't really see. Zoom in, enhance. Enhance. Did it work? Oh my god, like line by line, beautiful. They had a lot of comedy in the beginning. I was already laughing pretty hard just at the first scene, because it's hilarious and it's completely absurd. And the new voice actor for him is amazing. Amazing. The Gingerdead Man is actually funny. He's actually funny. You like seeing him on screen. The things that he says are hilarious, in my opinion. We didn't have that in the first movie, not really. The second movie was the complete opposite, where you just hated him, hated everything he said. But the third one, it's so good. He's hilarious, the things that he says, the way that he says it. All of the acting, slightly better now. A little bit better, still terrible acting, but even the characters in the film are saying hilarious things. The things that are happening are so funny. But he gets jailbroke out of the insane asylum for baked goods. Homicidal baked goods, that is. He finds a time travel machine and shoots himself to the year of like 1976, 75. He's at a boogie rollerblading arena, like rink, not arena. He starts killing everybody for no reason, which, again, you guys know, if you've watched my videos, I'm a man of lore. I like lore, and this is the only movie that has lore and backstory. That is completely dropped with the second one, and even more completely dropped with the third one. Usually I would be like, being that there's no lore, I don't like it, but I don't care about the lore anymore, because the lore's been gone for 2 movies now. Alright, the lore has been gone. It's gone. It was weak to begin with when there was lore. The second one changed it so that he's trying to get a new host so that he doesn't go stale, and he's trying to kill 5 people. That part's gone too. He's just killing people for fun, which is fine. That's fine. It's just, if that's what we're gonna do, stick with it. Okay, stop changing everything. I don't like change, okay? So he looks different. I don't know how I feel about that. He sounds different, amazing. He's actually funny. He says good stuff. There's like this horrible little 3D like render. I don't know if that's horrible CGI of like this Gingerdead man running around. It's really bad, but it's hilarious. The gore is actually a lot better. It's still pretty bad, but it's better. It's more enjoyable. It really is amazing. I don't think none of these movies are going to top that, okay? None of these movies are going to top that. I'm going to put this one, realistically, here's how I think it's going to go. I'm going to put it right there. The first one's good. I like the lore and stuff, but I like the direction we're going now. However, this is the Gingerdead Man trilogy. That's basically it. The other 2 movies are like spin-offs, kind of. So it's like, you know, you get the Friday the 13th. I keep using that as an example, but Friday the 13th, and then you got like Jason versus Freddy, where it's like he's in it, but it's not really part of it. But there's also no lore really at all that's consistent, which is also the same for Friday the 13th, arguably. So I guess it's basically the same thing, because the next movie we have is Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong. And I have not seen any of the Evil Bong movies either. I can watch them if you want me to. I'm not terribly interested in them. But yeah, this is, I feel like, the trilogy. This is the 3 movies, because then we have him fighting an Evil Bong, and then we have the Ginger Weed Man, which I don't even know if that's the same, like, character, if this is, like, completely different. But it was added in the set, so I'm adding it to the ranking, okay? Went from feeling, like, horrible and let down and defeated to rejuvenated and full of life and hope for the future. So, hopefully, we can get this out of the way. I am 100% getting another copy of that movie. And we are now on to Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong right there. So I'm gonna have to go and see him riding a bong and Hell rode with him. Quote from the cover.
Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's good, and I don't want to, again, die. See you in an hour and a half, or for you, 5 to 10 seconds. Wow. Okay.
I just finished Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. And once again, I have not seen any of the Evil Bong movies, so I was a little bit lost with what was happening. Oh, you see me eat that entire microphone? That was cool. Now, I know I exaggerate quite a bit, okay? I always say this was the most boring, or this is the most funny, this is the most best, this is the most worst. But I am not kidding when I say that this movie, Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong, is the absolute most uneventful movie I have ever seen. I may be exaggerating with other movies. Almost any time I say that I'm exaggerating, I'm not. Okay, this absolutely nothing happened in this movie, and it was the longest one. It was an hour and a half of absolute nonsense and nothingness. It was so overwhelmingly boring. I cannot even express to you how boring this movie was. About 30 minutes of it was them re-showing the entire lore behind the Evil Bong, and also the lore behind the Gingerdead Man, which they just so happened to skip every event that happened in the second movie. They added a few events that happened in the third one, and it was mostly just the first one. So they're trying to go back with the original lore. They showed Gary Busey's face a few times, and how the Gingerdead Man wants to become a man again. Alright, so they're going back to him being stuck in a cookie, and he doesn't like it, and he wants to be a man again. So they're going back to that lore. It's taken its roots from the original movie quite a bit. This guy I've never seen before, who is probably like the main character from the Evil Bong series, has his own bong shop with this really short man with a beard and an eye patch that he doesn't need. And they're selling bongs for the first 50 minutes of the film. No, I'm not kidding. I paused it, and it was at the 50-minute mark or around there when we switched gears to the next location in the movie, okay? Which would be the original actor from Gingerdead Man, just the first one, the lone survivor. I forgot her name, but she's the one with the southern accent, okay? She's the survivor from the mass shooting that Gary Busey orchestrated in Cadillac Jack in the very first movie. She was the only one who didn't die. And she has her own bakery, and she's selling cookies that look like him. The actual fighting, which there really wasn't any, because the Gingerdead Man killed 3 people. I can't even wrap my head around, like, why did I sit through this entire thing? There was absolutely no payoff. Apparently, when you smoke weed from the bong, it takes you into this place where all of your dreams come true, but then they, like, I don't know, turn against you and try and kill you. I don't know, I again, have not seen the movies. But that happens at the very end of the movie. They're in the bong world for like 2 seconds. The Gingerdead Man has 2 scenes. 2 or 3, about 3 scenes in the bong world. And then the movie ends. That's it. I know it says Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. There's no fighting between them. The Evil Bong can't even move. It's literally just a bong that talks. There's no fighting. He's not riding the bong at any point in the movie. He just smokes from it and stays there. That is it. And if I had to guess, the next movie the Ginger Weed Man is probably going to pick up where this one left off and be the actual movie portion of the movie, because there was nothing. At least the second one had action to it. You know, people were like dying and there was a plot, and you know, there was more than just the entire movie in one room, you know? I don't know. I honestly, out of spite, I can't stand movie number 2, but this is actually really hard. I cannot believe I'm about to do this. I'd rather be entertained and hate every second of it than be bored and waiting for something to happen for an entire movie and have actually nothing happen. I do not even consider that a movie. There's no way someone can genuinely watch that and be like, yes, that was a movie. That was a movie with characters, with character development. There was a plot to that. Because there was not. I don't know how an hour and 30 minutes went by and legitimately 2 notable things happened, maybe. Last Place is insane. At least the second one, there's a character that I like. I like the plot twist at the end. There's a ton of things I don't like about it. But my god, at least the second one's a movie where things happen and there's an attempt for a plot and there's an attempt for being funny and stuff. The Gingerdead Man, I do like this version of the Gingerdead Man, kind of. Because they went from the goofiest version of himself to him trying to, like, look scary and, like, act scary and stuff. And be, like, more ruthless, I guess. But, nah. Now for the final movie. Unfortunately, I've been dreading this moment for a long time. Also, that movie was from 2013, in case you were wondering. Gingerdead Man vs. Evil Bong is a 2013 movie. And this one is from 2021, if you can see that pretty well, I don't know. The Ginger Weed Man. This may be a Paranormal Activity type of thing for me, where Paranormal Activity, the original one, it's alright. Alright, I watched it, I was like, okay. But then I watched the second one and how they tied together so well, I was like, ooh. The first and second one combined are just... It's amazing, alright? The callbacks to the original and the lore tying together. So maybe if I watch this and it ties the lore up with the fourth one, it'll bring it up. It'll bring it up, you know? It's like a... I don't know, I have no idea. But maybe it'll make it better. But yeah, I guess I'll go watch The Ginger Weed Man. I'm back. Okay, we're back. Me and Gerald. We're all set. Where'd the movie go? Okay, it's down there. Never mind. Hold on. Let me. I hope you enjoy that mask, because that thing was $150. We are officially done. This is the Ginger Weed Man. And let me tell you something. Just kidding. I don't even want to talk about this movie. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This has absolutely nothing to do with the Gingerdead Man series. This has no correlation. It's not... I mean, maybe it's in the same universe. They don't cross paths. Gingerdead Man has never even been said. I don't know why Ginger's even in his name. Okay, it should just be the Weed Man, because I don't know. They still call him Gingy in the movie, and it doesn't make any sense because he's not a gingerbread man. We don't even know. He doesn't have a backstory. He just shows up and he starts talking in this accent that makes him annoying. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this movie because I refuse. Is it bad? Absolutely. It is absolutely terrible. But being that it has nothing to do with the Gingerdead Man series at all, in any way other than it's made by Full Moon Pictures or Productions or whatever they're called, features, I don't know. It's made by the same people, and it's low budget. That is the only thing it has in common. I don't know why they included it in this set. There aren't 5 movies. There are 4. Okay? 3, really, in reality, there are 3, because Again, Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong is not a movie. This, I guess you can consider it a movie. There's a plot and there's, you know, there's an arc and, you know, there's a problem and stuff and he solves the problem. However, that problem is irrelevant to this entire franchise because it's not even part of it. It's not even part of it. And I made a spot on here for it, but it's not even part of it. So, I'm going to disqualify it, but I feel like that's going to make people mad and there's just going to be an empty slot. So, I will rank it. But if you want just the Gingerdead Man movies, this is it. Okay, this is kind of the order. Just pretend that's not there. If you want me to include the Gingerweed Man, I will. If we want to rank this based on movies, not based on the franchise, based on how much I enjoyed the movie. How much did I enjoy myself watching the Gingerweed Man? I have come to a roadblock in my mind. Gingerdead Man 2 cannot be that high up in the board. I think we have our final rankings of all of these movies. I think so. Possibly. That could possibly be it. I moved the Gingerdead Man 2 up, even though I said it was one of the worst movies I have ever seen, and that still holds true. Okay, that still holds true. But I was at least entertained in a very disturbing and dislikable way. Okay? The Gingerweed Man is just... it's a standalone movie, and it's one of the worst things I've ever seen for a standalone movie. There was no backstory, there's nothing. It told me that I needed to be high in order to watch it, and I'm not going to do that, okay? I have no interest in the concept for Gingerweed Man at all, okay? Nothing about that interests me whatsoever. It's a standalone movie. It has nothing to do with any of these at all. If I could disqualify it, I would, alright? But I'm putting it there because I made a spot for it, so it's gotta go up. Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong is not a movie. It's not. It is. That cannot be classified as a movie at all, where nothing happens. There is no conflict. There is almost no conflict, and when there is conflict, it's for 2 minutes of the film at the very end, and then it resolves with zero satisfaction or gratification for... I don't think gratification is the right word, but it's not fun. That is one of the most boring, if not the most boring, uneventful movie I have ever seen in my life. Okay? It's bad. Please don't watch it, because you would be better off staring at a wall for an hour and a half than watching Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong, because there's no conflict between the two of them at all. So saying versus is so misleading. You would get more out of staring at a wall, because your attention span would probably increase from staring at a wall for an hour than staring at this for an hour. Well, an hour and a half. So that's pretty dumb. Gingerbread Man 2 really just pissed me off, but it at least has entertaining things. It has somewhat of a plot. There's interesting things that kind of happen, which is just so insane for me to say that it's on number 3 out of 5, and it's one of the worst things. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. But I refuse to put Gingerweed Man anywhere other than the bottom 2. If I could make a bottom one lower, I would. I would do that. I keep hitting this, and I keep deep-throating this microphone by accident. But going over the final things just real quick as a recap of all of the movies, number 5, the worst movie of the entire franchise would be Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. Again, you would be better off staring at a wall for an hour and a half than watching this movie. Number 4, we have the Gingerweed Man, which has, again, absolutely no connection to the Gingerdead Man. Ginger shouldn't even be in his name at all. He's not a gingerbread man. He has nothing to do with the franchise. He's not even part of the franchise, so I don't know why it's on this board. But it at least has a plot to it, and something happens in the movie. So it gets, naturally, higher than the last one, okay? Number 3, the worst movie of all time. I don't even want to say its name again, okay? It was really bad. Really, really terrible. It's supposed to be mocking the production of low-quality movies, but the acting is real bad, besides a few characters. The Gingerdead Man himself is the most insufferable thing I have ever seen on screen. He feels so out of place. He doesn't even belong in the movie, and I am so annoyed every time he goes on screen to the point where I'm just begging for them to just cut to the next scene because the plot outside of him killing people is honestly more interesting than the rest of the movie. Number 2, we have arguably still terrible movie. These are all bad. These are all terrible. We have the Gingerdead Man, which is the only movie that Gary Busey shows up in, besides, a few of the other ones when he shows up in flashbacks and that stuff. But that's the only time that Gary shows up, which is fitting because Gary with a Glock is right above him. So this is where they started. Okay, that's the original movie. You have the plot, you have the lore, it's a structured movie. It's a bad one. Okay, it's a bad one, but it's at least fun. Okay, it's at least semi-fun. Not too good, but not too bad. It's watchable. It's watchable. And of course, number 1, one of the best comedy horror films I have ever seen in my life. I haven't seen that many, granted, but I've seen Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, and honestly, I laughed more at this than that movie. Comedies don't seem to make me laugh too often. I don't know what's wrong with my brain for it to enjoy the Gingerdead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver so much, but it is genuinely such a funny film. And if you are to show your friends just one of these movies, please God, just show them this one. Okay, these shouldn't exist. All right, the first one, maybe there's an exception. These 3 are the biggest waste of time I have ever partaken in, ever in my life. This is my child. I will do a review on this. If even one person asks me to, I will do it almost immediately because this was actually so enjoyable to watch. And if you're a horror fan, it has a lot of references to horror movies in it, or at least it does in the beginning. It's hilarious. Okay, the jokes in here are top tier, where they missed the mark on every other movie. That's the only one they did good in. All of the characters are pretty funny as well, and it's enjoyable. Okay, it's enjoyable. It's out of pocket. It's unhinged. It's like you cannot predict what happens next, and it's perfect. Okay, I cannot believe I'm saying that for a Gingerdead Man movie. Cannot believe it. But Gingerdead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver takes the cake, or should I say, the bread bakery, the cookie takes the cookie. Please, no one should have to sit through any of these 3 movies. I swear to God, please do not do that. Please don't do that. I can't believe I spent all day doing that, but I know now that I don't ever have to watch these movies again in my life. That was around 10 hours total. 10 hours of watching the movies and coming back and filming, which is a whole lot better than 15 from Scream. So once again, if you haven't seen the first episode of Franchise Killer, then please go check out the Halloween special of Franchise Killer, where I watch all of these Scream movies. I wonder how many times I'm gonna mention that in one video. That is another franchise murdered, my friends. Ain't that right, Willard? Or Millard. I think it's Millard, yeah. Millard must be proud of me. Millard, the killer gingerbread man. I cannot believe that's his name.
I hope you enjoyed watching this second ever episode of Franchise Killer. I had a lot of fun making this, alright? I actually ate food, so I was aware and alert for most of the day. Unlike the other one, where I actually thought I was gonna die. But this wasn't as bad because it was only 7.5 hours as opposed to 12. Whew. I would have been like halfway done by now. That is crazy. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to comment down below. I am legally changing my name to Millard. And you will be pinned, okay? The first person to tell me that, you will get pinned at the top of the comment section. And thank you all for watching to the end of this video. Subscribe, like, and share, I guess, and follow me on Instagram. And most importantly, have the best Christmas you have ever had in your entire life. And that's a threat. Okay? I'll see you all in the next video.